This is how to open a Roth IRA using Fidelity in 2023. We'll also be going over how to actually buy stocks in your brokerage account and which stocks to buy for a long-term approach. But before I get into anything, remember that this is only for entertainment purposes. Step 1, go to fidelity.com and press the Open Account button. Then you'll see this tab and click the Open Roth IRA button. Click Open now and it's going to ask you if you're already a Fidelity customer. Assuming you don't have an account with Fidelity yet, just press No and it'll direct you to this page where you just click Next. Then it'll say, tell us a little bit more about yourself. It's going to require you to ask for your citizenship, your social security number, your address, your birthday, all those things, and just fill out that information. Just answer all of them and then click Next. Then it will ask you, how do you make a living? Just answer this. It'll give you options like self-employed, you're employed with someone, or you're retired. Just press whatever suits your situation the best. For security industry regulations, you could just press none because I'm pretty sure that doesn't relate to most people. Then it'll give you all your information that you could just review. I can't put mine on the screen because this is actually my mom's information. It's not for me. I'm just opening one for my mom. But at the bottom of the screen, it says Open Account, and that's the button you want to click right there. Then it'll ask you to create a username and password. Pretty basic stuff here. Then create a security question. I always choose my best friend. Jonathan, if you're watching this, I still put you down as my best friend till this day. Then it says, let's add money to your new account. Just press link bank account and then you can take money from your bank account and transfer it over to your Fidelity market fund. It'll give you like a security code thing that you have to send to your phone. Just get the code and fill it in right there. Then just do electric fund transfer, click for myself, not a business, and then you want to log in with Plaid. Now, if you're not comfortable giving away your information to something like Plaid, then you can actually just link it manually. I always use Plaid to connect my bank accounts and I pretty much trust it. So in this example, we're going to use Plaid. Then just go through Plaid and answer all the questions. And now it's going to give you your bank account and the Fidelity account that you're going to transfer that money into. Then it's going to ask you to verify the account. It's going to take money from your bank account and send it over to your Roth IRA. And then you're going to have to verify the deposit amounts. And then you want to click Send Deposits. And after you verify those deposits, there you go, you have a new Roth IRA account with Fidelity. So now you can go to fidelity.com and in the username and password section, you can just fill it out and there you go, you can actually log into your account and see your portfolio. It's kind of like the same process as opening a new savings account. Now let's get into how to actually invest using the Fidelity interface here. Now after you log in, you're gonna see this interface, which is actually your portfolio. You can see I only have $20 in here. This is actually my mom's Roth IRA. I just opened it today for fun and I just put $20 in there for instructional purposes. But this way I can actually do it alongside you guys and not just really make up the numbers. Now keep in mind that this $20 that I transferred from my bank account to my Fidelity account is going to be in something called a money market fund or SPAXX. And this is just the default account that you need to put your money into to actually start investing. Now just because you transferred your money to Fidelity does not mean that it's invested yet. It just means that it got into the money market fund account. And the money market fund account is not an investment in itself. Well, it kind of is, but it's not really. So we're gonna find the trade button up at the top to finally buy some stock. Now, when you press it, it's gonna open up this tab right here. It's gonna ask you which stock you wanna buy, what's the symbol of that stock, and how much of that stock do you want. Then you're just gonna click Stocks and ETFs. Then you're gonna select your Roth IRA account. You're gonna look up FXAIX, which is gonna be Fidelity's S&P 500 Index Fund, or something like FSKAX, which is gonna be Fidelity's Total Market Index Fund, which is also one of my favorite index funds of all time. Either one of these work. I personally go for FXAIX because that's the S&P 500, and I love the S&P 500, guys. Now for action, you're gonna press buy, and the dollar amount is gonna be $6,500. And the reason why we chose $6,500 is because that's the maximum amount you can contribute to your Roth IRA if you're under the age of 50. Now just press preview order. Now you can see that it gives me this error. Now the reason why is because I only have $20 in there and I need $6,500 in my money market account if I actually want to buy $6,500 worth of FXAIX. This is why before you buy a stock, you have to make sure you have enough money in your funds before you buy whatever amount that you want. So just for example's sake, I'm gonna buy $20 worth of FXAIX right now because that's all I have in my money market account. And remember, this is my mom's account and I'm just helping her out with it. I'll contribute that $6,480 later on in the year. Now I'm just gonna place the order and boom, it takes me to this page where it says that the order went through. And now you're just gonna press view positions and this is where you're gonna see the status of your stock. Remember, when you do it right away, it's not gonna show because it takes 1 to 2 business days to transfer that money from your money account to actually buying the stock. So don't be freaked out if you don't see it right away. And boom, just wait till you're 59 and a half and wait like 40 years. Do this every year for 40 years and you'll basically be a millionaire. And remember, with your Roth IRA, you can take out your principal balance anytime you want. It's just gonna be the gains that you've made over your time in investing that you can't take out. If you attempt to take it out, there's gonna be a 10% penalty that you have to pay, which is just ridiculous. And that's the whole point of investing in a Roth IRA is that there are no penalties, there are no taxes when you take out the money. It's all just yours. Now also keep in mind, if you're a high earner and you make over $153,000 a year, you actually can't contribute to a Roth IRA according to the IRS. But there is actually a loophole called the backdoor Roth. It's basically where you invest in a traditional IRA, you transfer $6,500 to your Roth IRA, and it's basically the same thing as just investing in a Roth IRA. But that's for another video, guys. So yeah, just to sum it all up, when you transfer money into your portfolio, it's not done yet. You need to take that money and actually trade it and buy stock using your money market fund. Now let's get into why you should open a Roth IRA and the importance of investing. A Roth IRA or a Roth 401k are really powerful tools that allow us to get gains on our investments tax-free. This is why there's only a limit of $6,500 a year, because it would be way too broken if we could invest more than that. When you look into something like FXAIX or FXKAX, you want to look at the 10-year annual average return rate, which is going to really determine if a stock is good or not. You can see for FXAIX, there's a 10-year average annual return rate of 12.85%. And while the all-time annual return rate is going to be 10.29%. That is a lot of money just compounding, guys. Basically, if you guys have $100,000, next year you have $110,000, and that's the power of investing, and so on. It just compounds and compounds like that. Now for FXKEX, you can see that the 10-year annual return rate is going to be 12.25%, while the all-time is going to be 8.25%. And that's another great investment that's just going to compound year after year. Let's just be super conservative here and say that on average, you're going to get a 9% growth every year. If you started investing when you're 21 and you put in $6,500 every year all the way up to the age of 60, you would end up with the amount $2.19 million in your brokerage account. Now that money is just yours, tax-free, no penalties, $2.19 million when you're 60 years old, and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. Now the only caveat to this is that you can only see that money when you're 59 and a half. I mean, you can take out your principal balance anytime, like I said before, but as for the gains, you gotta leave in there till you're 59 and a half. And 59 and a half is a long time for us, and for me, that's gonna be like 30 years. And I'm not gonna wait 30 years to be rich. I want that money as soon as possible. So if you're like me and you wanna retire early, what you wanna do is you wanna use your Roth IRA as kind of like a supplemental account to your actual brokerage account that's where you're gonna put most of your money in, and that's gonna help me survive all the way until I get to 60 years old. So let me explain. Every year, I'm gonna max out my Roth at $6,500, but then I'm super aggressive with my savings, so I actually like to save around $45,000 to $50,000 in my investment account, where I also invest into things like FXAIX. So if I keep investing $50,000 for the next 15 years into my brokerage account, I'm actually gonna have $2.13 million by the time I'm 42, and I've been planning this for a very, very long time, guys. So by the time I'm 42, I'm gonna have $2.13 million in my actual brokerage account. And alongside that, I'm gonna have my Roth IRA, which is gonna have $661,000 in there by the time I'm 42. Now with that $2.13 million I have in my brokerage account, I'm gonna try to make that money last till I see my Roth IRA when I'm 60 years old. Keep in mind, in those 18 years that I have to live off my investments, I'm gonna have to keep investing in my Roth IRA as well. So from 42 all the way to 60, I'm basically gonna have to survive off of $2.13 million in my brokerage account. But keep in mind, that $2.13 million is gonna be growing at a 10 to 12% annual rate. So basically without my Roth IRA, I would have to survive off of $2.13 million for the rest of my life. And who knows if $2.13 million growing at a 10 to 12% annual rate is gonna be enough for me till I die. I mean, maybe it might be enough, but who knows? But with a Roth IRA, I have a backbone. I just need to reach 60 with that $2.13 million, and I can just get replenished with another $2.12 million when I'm 60 years old. Now keep in mind, when I have that $2.13 million in my brokerage account, I'm not just gonna take out that $2 million. I'm gonna keep it in my account and only take out 4% every year. And keep in mind that this is gonna be based off of something called the Trinity study. Basically, I'm gonna be taking out 4% of that $2.13 million every year because that's all I need to sustain my lifestyle. And while I only take out 4% of my brokerage account, the brokerage account is gonna be gaining around 10 to 12% because it's invested into stocks. So you can see that even though I take out money from the brokerage account, it's still gonna stay at the same balance because it's gonna replenish because of the growth of the stocks. So basically, I'm gonna be taking out $85,000 from my brokerage account every year. And I've already made the calculations, and that's all I really need to sustain my current lifestyle and my retirement lifestyle that I want in the future. Now, I'll be 42 by then, and I just need to do this from 42 all the way up to 60, like I said before. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people are gonna say that $85,000 isn't nearly enough because of inflation to sustain a lifestyle, especially here in LA. But these are based off of my calculations and my own lifestyle, so I'm pretty sure for me, $85,000 is more than enough. So this is really the power of investing, guys. It really allows us to not rely on our work to sustain ourselves. And this concept is something called FIRE, which is going to be financially independent, retire early, which I'm a huge proponent of. So mainly what FIRE is all about is investing in index funds and going for the long-term when investing. I've been investing for around 7 years now, and I have 8 years more to go until I reach my goal. I definitely know I can do it, but the only reason that I can do this is because of index funds. And it's been a really long journey. It's been really hard at times, but the only reason I'm confident that I can do this is because of index funds and that 10 to 12% annual growth that I've been receiving for the past 7 years. It's been insane, guys. So when you're 20, 21, or 22, make sure to open that Roth IRA, because the biggest asset that you have right now is going to be time. I opened mine when I was 20 years old, and I wish for you guys to do the same, because that money is just going to be growing so much. And by the time you're 60, you're going to have so much money in the bank account. Also, I encourage you to open a separate account where you can make more money, where you can put more money into that brokerage account so that you can try to maybe eventually retire early. So I'll make this same exact video that I did with Fidelity, except with Vanguard, because that's the actual brokerage account that I use within my investments. So yeah, if you guys like this video and if you found it helpful, all I ask is for a like or a comment down below. And if you like the video's contents, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Woo!